Hello friends, in this video I am discussing the method in JS. Name is call, apply and bind. In these three methods are used to control the context of this, which object a function should be called as a this to invoke a function. Means I have a one function name is display and we are pass greeting and symbol to parameters, and inside I am write the alert and display greeting and this dot name and symbol. Means in after I created a two object person1 and person2. Okay, so this is my code. Now our first function is a call. So what is the use of call method? So here you can see it, the definition. The call, you want to call a function immediately with a different this or argument one by one. Means whenever you are using the call function, so call the function immediately. Means suppose here I have a display function and this I want to call the display function with person1 as a passing the this context. So here I'm calling, you can see it. Okay, I'm using a display as a function name dot call function. I'm using a call function to call the function and passing the person1 as a this. Okay, and here I'm passing the symbol. So what is the mean? So whenever I'm calling the display function to define which this context I want to pass, so here I'm passing the person1. So now our display function will be called. So the hello argument, it is assigned to greeting, symbol is assigned to symbol parameters, and now person as a, so the this, so when you are using the this inside the function, so it is indicate to the person1 object, and now my person1 object name is Suresh. So you can see it, the debug same as I'm using the person2 here. So this person2 in this context is indicate to the person2 object. So let's see it. What is the output? So first time hello Suresh, because it is a person1 name of the Suresh. Same as second time Ganesh, it is a second person2 object. So this is the call method. Using call method, so you can dynamically change your this context as well as you can pass the arguments. But difference is you can pass the argument as one by one. But in case you want to pass the argument as an array, so here I have a second method is apply. Apply is the same. It is called immediate function, but difference is apply and call. If you're using the apply method, so you have to pass the array as an argument. So here I'm just passing the array, not passing the one by one argument. And here I'm using the apply function, same as above. So here I'm using the apply function to call it and passing the argument as an array. So this is the difference between apply and call. So let's save and check it. Same output previous. Okay. So this is the simple difference between call and apply, only for argument as a one by one and array. Now I have third method is bind. So what is the use of bind? So bind is little bit different to call and apply. These two methods are whenever I am using, so it is called immediately our display function. But in our case, sometimes I'm not call immediately the function, but I want to call in later into my code. So this time I'm using the bind method. Suppose I'm using the display is my function name, and I'm using the bind method to pass the person one object as a this context. And now same as, sorry, here I'm passing the hello as a greeting and exclamation mark, the second parameter. So now this time I'm using bind to use the person1 as a this and passing the two. But now it is not called the display method. Let's check, because bind is not called immediately the function, but bind it is used to create a new function, return a new function. If you want to create a new function with a fixed this and call in later and argument one by one, means If you are using the bind, so bind function are written the new function. So you have to store in your other variable. So I'm using function one variable. We are store the new function. Same as I'm using the second one is the person two, and the store is the function two variable. And later I'm calling the function one and function two. Both are functions, so we can call it like this. And now we are save and check it. Okay, so the same output. Okay, so this is the difference between call, apply, and bind. So whenever you are using, to keep it in mind the simple difference between in these three methods. Thank you so much for watching.